We discussed the roles and duties of a sales manager. We discussed the buying funnel. And then we said you cannot become a sales manager unless until you first understand your own people. You understand the life of a salesperson. You understand the process of selling. And we spent some time in understanding the process of selling. We did this with a live example of Arogya Setu. We went further and then we said, okay, now that I know what selling is all about, let me now understand the sales organization. And that's where we started with our topic of what is a sales organization, why do we need a sales organization, what are the benefits of a sales organization, the different types of sales organizations. And we discussed an article from Harvard Business Review, which discussed the changes in a sales organization. So there was this article from PR which we discussed. And we said, okay, now we understand what is a sales organization, why do we need a sales organization, what are the different types of sales organization, how a sales organization changes over time. My next question is, how many people do I need? How many salespeople I need in my sales organization? And that's where last time we ended, where we discussed the workload method. For those of you who do not remember the workload method, a quick recap. Workload method was, we defined the total work of the company, then we defined the work of one salesperson, and lo and behold, divide it and you get how many salespeople you need. However, what is important is to understand not the workload of one salesperson, but the realistic workload of one salesperson. And the moment we did that, we saw how the number changes and how when we do not take the realistic workload, then we take less people. And when we take less people, obviously they're not able to meet the targets. When they're not able to meet the targets, that's not a healthy relationship between the boss and the employee, or even for the sales organization. Since it's been some time since we did that, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to share 2-3 problems with you of the workload method, and let's solve them together so that we are very, very clear of what the workload method is before I go to the next method, which is the incremental method. So if you don't have your pens and pencils with you, get them now. Have a calculator, and we will start with the workload method. So this is, do I need to increase the size, or is it visible? Is this visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So let's start with the first problem, and I want you to do this with me, but first we'll read the problem. This is something which we did last time before I go to new problems. So this says this is a company which has 3 kinds of customers: large, medium, and small. And I discussed with you last time that how we define our customers into different categories, because the requirements or the expectation of one customer is different from the expectation of the other set of customers, the other segment customers. Customers who are spending a large amount with you obviously have different expectations compared to customers who are not spending so much with you. We discussed with the banking example, we discussed with the Durabji example, and so basically, so 150 large accounts, 220 medium accounts, 510 small accounts. At any point of time, if you don't understand or you want to contribute or you have a query, question, unmute yourself and ask. Okay? And then further it says how much time they are spending, they are supposed to spend on every customer. So let's do a quick, let's start working on this. Let's solve this. And as I see, 150 accounts, and I get my calculator, and it says that it is spending 52 hours. So for large accounts, wherever I'm wrong, stop me. And so 150 accounts into 52 hours. And that is equal to 7800. Please do with me. Do with me so that you are also absolutely clear of how we do workload. Not the medium account. And it says 220 into 12 hours, and that's 2640. And then the small account. And it says 510 into 3 hours, and that's 1530. So this is the workload of different accounts, but I need to know the total workload. And the moment I need to know the total workload, what I do is simple addition. So I add 700 plus 2640 plus 1530, and I get 11970. Are we clear till here? Is this making sense? Just a revision, just to recall. Are we clear till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
great. So now we have the total workload. Do it with me, as I said, but the workload is total workload divided by the workload of one salesperson. So this one salesperson works 40 hours per week, and he is one salesperson, 40 hours per week, and he's working for 48 weeks. So it is 40 hours and into 48 weeks he's working, and that's equal to 40 into 48, 1920. So he's working 1920 hours, and you know what we had done? So we had gone ahead and we had said how many salespeople? And all we did was 11970 divided by 1920, and we had got 6. And that's where we had sort of said, yeah, great, 6. But that's exactly where we go wrong. Because these 40 hours a salesperson is not continuously selling. He has to do other non-selling jobs also, which may be travel, which may be documentation, which may be other things. And therefore, the moment when we think that all he or she is doing in these 40 hours is sell, 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 we get a wrong number. And therefore, and obviously, when we get a wrong number, our expectation from those people is much more, and they're not able to deliver. So now, if you look at this case, he's only spending 45% of the time in selling. So this is wrong. This is wrong because this is not a realistic workload, right? So what do? We look at, we see that he's only spending 40% time, which means 1920 into 45%. And the moment I do this, 864. He is only working 864 hours in terms of selling. And it's a huge difference between 1920 and 864. Now when I take 864 and I do 1970 divided by 864, the figure that comes is, my God, 13.8 of 14 salespeople. Look at the difference. 6, look at 6, and look at 14. So instead of 14, when we take 6 salespeople and expect them to meet the targets, they can't. They just cannot. And that results in a not so great atmosphere between the boss, between the employees, in the sales organization. So you have then people who are leaving, you have high rate of attrition and so on. And who's to be blamed? Everyone. It's not individual's fault. We did not see the complete picture. We were asking 6 people to do the work of 14 sales people, right? So total workload divided by the workload of one salesperson, realistic workload. If this is the first problem, I have another problem. I hope we are We are clear with this? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll go ahead
Yes,
and
ma'am.
we'll solve the second problem. And as I said, I mean, I'm solving it, but solve it with me. If possible, do it faster than me. Stop me, unmute yourself, and let me know if I'm wrong. So the second one, which is a little different, the same concept. However, instead of now 3 types of accounts, we have now 4 types of accounts. We have large, we have medium, we have small, and we have very small. And look at the interesting part. The large accounts are only 200, and the very small accounts are 6,000. And this is reality. The number of people who will have small accounts with the bank would always be far more than the number of people who have large accounts with the bank. The number of people who would buy small amount of grocery would always be far more than the number of people who at one point of time would buy a large amount of grocery. So the number of people who would buy 1 or 2 dress would always be far more at any point of time rather than the number of people who would buy 10 dresses at the same time. So very realistic, and look at the difference, and we cannot ignore anyone. These are also important to me, and these are also very, very important to me. But what we have to understand is that the expectations are different, and because expectations are different, therefore the time we spent with them is different. With one, we are spending 12 hours per year. With the small, very small ones, we are only spending hours per year. And let's just see how this works out. So I will just maybe anyone who would like to dictate to me and solve with me? If you're ready, I'll start. The large is 200 accounts and 12 hours per year. So large, very simple, 200 into 12. This is not how you will write in the exam. You have to write what it is about. So you will write 200 large accounts into 12 hours per year. So you should actually be writing 200 accounts into 12 hours per year. And this results in, if you will not write the complete thing, you will not get the marks. So 2 or 0, spending around 0 hours for the medium. 1,000 into 9, so 9,000. Then, am I correct? 9, 1,000. Yes. 3,000 small, 3,000 into 6. How much is that? Anyone?
18,000.
Great. Very small? Very small is 6,003.
Again 18,000.
Fantastic. So what's the total?
47,400.
Sorry. Can you repeat?
Ma'am, 47,400.
47,400. Fantastic. And this person is working 30 hours per week, and there are 43 working weeks. So how much is he working? 43 into 30, how much is he working?
1290.
43 into 30?
Yes, ma'am. 1290 is correct.
1290. Okay, 1290. Further 1290 into, I think, 75%. Yeah, he spent 75%. So into 0.75, that's equal to 1290 into 0.75. 967.5, right?
Yes.
And therefore our total workload, and so how many salespeople we need? 47400 divided by 967.5. That's equal to, how much is that? 47400 divided by 967.
102.
They need 102 people if our calculations are correct. Let's just see if we had not divided it by 967. Let's divide it by 400 divided by 1290. What's this? What's this?
36.7.
My God. Can you see the difference? Huge difference. Right? The whole idea of workload is to understand that how do we look at the workload. It's not about mathematics. It's not about addition, multiplication, subtraction, and so on. The idea is to understand the realistic workload. Not so
Excuse me, ma'am.
yes.
Ma'am.
The number is not 102. It's 48.9.
48.9 or 49. It's not 102.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Good. So somebody was calculating. I'll change it. 40. How much?
49. 49.
Then also, wait, I mean, I was thinking, how is it 102, but that's okay. 49, again, so 11 less or 13 less people. Had we taken 36 people only and expected them to do the work of 49 people? As I said, I mean, the whole idea is not to, it's definitely about, I mean, getting the right figures and so on, but it's understanding that you have to take a realistic workload. There's a third problem. I hope you can solve it yourself. You don't want me to solve it. Can I do one thing? Can I put this on the screen and give you 5 minutes or 10 minutes and you come up with the right answer? Let's do that. Okay, rather than me solving it, I have solved 2 problems for you. Now let us